So much.
Do you want the mic?
Sure.
Thank you so much for hosting this town hall. I'm with the Virginia chapter of Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America. I can guarantee you we're going to do all we can. Thank you. We're going to do all we can to make sure that voters know about the importance of this election. We did incredible work for the presidential election leading up to November, and so we plan to continue that. In the recent past, you've received an A rating from the NRA, as well as their financial backing. This support has come since Virginia Tech happened, which until the summer was the deadliest mass shooting in our country's history. How can voters be assured of your commitment to common sense gun laws, particularly in light of your relatively recent support from the NRA? And how have you championed gun violence prevention? I know you did support Mansion Toomey. What other ways have you championed it? And then also, will you present a substantive gun violence plan, a plan for reducing gun violence in Virginia, and also include a thorough plan on your website? Thank you so much.
Thank you. Please give Moms Demand Action a huge round of applause. Not only are they fighting for incredibly important reform, but they do so with great research and great professionalism, and often show up with well-branded t-shirts, which is very, very valuable, I think, in having changed the politics of the issue. So on the issue of common sense gun reform, I have been a champion for Mansion Toomey. After Congress, I helped run an organization called Center for American Progress Action, which is one of the leading national progressive advocacy groups on a range of progressive issues, from voting rights to reproductive rights to fighting inequality. And during the Mansion Toomey debate, we were not only very active in advocating for it, helped organize the candlelight vigil, and I was out in front of the Senate during the filibuster attempt reading names. But I also tried, as a matter of penance, to use my experience as an NRA-endorsed member to ask the question, what is going to help us get other NRA-endorsed members to come around? And one of the many things that I had been told back in the day was that there is no causal link between tougher gun laws and reduced gun deaths. So we raised money and went to the team and said, we want to collect a meta-analysis of all the best research across all 50 states and test this and put it together in a way that will be compelling to those members, particularly in the Senate, who needed to be convinced. So we started with a theory of change, which is that these were some of the arguments people were using. We raised the money, we did the research, and we did, of course, show that there is a very real correlation between common sense gun reform and lower gun death. And we used that information not just in the media, where I was appearing regularly, and also compared the NRA to the John Birch Society at the time, but also pushed forward with the advocacy with direct members. One of the things that I said at that point, and I've said it since, not always articulately, is that in many ways I feel like the NRA left me more than I left the NRA. I'll be honest, I grew up in Charlottesville at Boy Scout camp. We learned gun safety from the NRA. The targets were sponsored by the NRA. YMCA camps, again, you would have rifle training there. The NRA was still at that point fighting for protected wilderness. They actually supported universal background checks at one point in the 90s. And at a certain point, really it became an organization that was primarily representing the gun makers and the survivalists. It was not something that was defending responsible gun owners. It was not something that was looking for common sense gun reform measures. I think it is fair to say some of us should have woken up to that sooner in the process, and I accept that critique and continue to try to fight because of that. But if you look today, the number of people, the percent of people owning guns is actually going down, but the number of guns being sold is going way up. So unfortunately, the NRA has figured out a business model of wanting to sell more and more guns to a smaller number of people. And in doing so, they perpetrate a lot of deeply dishonest information to try to scare the crap out of people to go out and buy a bunch of guns and build up an arsenal. And it's simply not the kind of social contract we saw before, where responsible gun owners were great stewards of the environment, protecting the wilderness, etc. I have certainly offered to continue Governor McAuliffe's lead on vetoing bad legislation that comes through, and I know that you guys track many, many bills, along with Lori Haas and the Parkers and others, great advocates of common sense gun reform. So I am unambiguously in favor of the universal background checks, of closing the gun show loophole, of promoting smart gun technology, and other measures that I think keep our communities safer while still respecting responsible gun owners' ability to practice their rights.
Well, just one quick follow-up. Can we count on you to oppose the very dangerous dismantling of our permitting system, known as permitless carry?
Yeah, I think this is in some ways the next front in this effort, and you can count on me.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.